Imagine your world shattering at 8 years old, the biting chill of a Montreal winter mirroring the ice forming in your heart. That wasn't a nightmare. It was my reality. My own parents, Brenda and Robert, left me standing on Grandma Genevieve's stoop, clutching a ridiculously small backpack as if it could anchor me. Their whispered promise, "We'll be back soon," evaporated into the frosty air the moment their car disappeared. That memory isn't just burned in, it's the indelible scar marking day one of my forever altered life. I never thought I'd see them again after that day. The backpack held just a few changes of clothes, a meager shield against the abandonment. "We just need some time to sort things out, Clara," Mom, Brenda, had muttered, her eyes carefully avoiding mine, unable to face the daughter she was leaving behind. "Be good for Grandma." But they never came back. The first few months dissolved into the hardest, longest days I'd ever known. Every single afternoon after school was spent glued to Grandma Genevieve's front window, my breath fogging the cold glass, watching countless cars drive by, a desperate hope flaring with each one, praying the next would finally be them. It never was. Night after night descended into the same ritual of silent tears soaking my pillow, the darkness amplifying the raw, aching questions. What did I do wrong? Why wasn't I good enough for them to stay? Why me? But Grandma Genevieve was my saving grace, the sturdy lighthouse guiding my small, battered ship through that storm of abandonment. "You're perfect just as you are, my sweet girl," she'd tell me constantly, her warm hands gently wiping away the seemingly endless tears that stained my cheeks in those early days. Her voice, calm and reassuring, was the anchor I desperately needed. "Some people just aren't ready to be parents, Clara, truly. And that abysmal failure? It's not your fault, not ever. But I am here, and I will always be here for you." And she was. Grandma Genevieve wasn't just any grandmother. She was brilliant, impossibly sophisticated, and, as I would only discover much later, incredibly wealthy. You'd never have guessed it from the way she lived, though. Our cozy brownstone on a tree-lined street in Plateau Mont-Royal was modest, filled with books and warmth rather than extravagance. She drove an old, reliable Volvo and remained the respected principal at a prestigious lycée simply because she genuinely loved shaping young minds. The only subtle hints of her vast fortune were her impeccable taste in art, quiet masterpieces adorning the walls, and the way she'd sometimes casually mention dividend yields while meticulously reading the financial pages with her morning coffee. Under her unwavering care, I didn't just survive. I flourished. She enthusiastically encouraged my fascination with the stars, hiring tutors when calculus felt like an alien language, and celebrated every single achievement, no matter how small it seemed. When I won first place in the provincial astronomy competition at 13, she threw a huge party, inviting all my friends. "That's my girl!" She beamed, hugging me tight, her pride radiating. "You're going to change the world someday, Clara. I just know it." Life settled into a comfortable, steady rhythm. Grandma Genevieve and I against the world. She never spoke badly about Brenda and Robert, but she made sure I understood their absence wasn't a reflection of my worth. "Sometimes people make choices they can't take back, ma chérie," she'd say wisely, looking up from her book. "But those choices reflect on them, not on you." Slowly, painstakingly, I stopped thinking about my parents constantly, stopped hoping they'd suddenly reappear, stopped caring about the why. I had Grandma, and that was truly enough. She was more than enough. Then came my 18th birthday. Grandma threw me an elegant party at her favorite classic French restaurant downtown, the kind with crisp white tablecloths and sparkling chandeliers. She invited all my friends, raising a toast to my future. Her gift, presented in a small velvet box, was a beautiful necklace, a delicate shimmering platinum chain with a tiny, intricately designed key pendant. "This is more than just jewelry, Clara," she said, her eyes holding a serious, mysterious weight as she fastened it around my neck. "Keep it safe. You'll understand when the time comes." I remember tracing the cool metal of the key, puzzled but touched by the gesture. I didn't know then, couldn't have possibly guessed, that this warm, happy celebration would be our very last one together. I didn't know then, couldn't have possibly guessed, that this warm, happy celebration would be our very last one together. Just 3 short months later, the unthinkable happened. Grandma Genevieve collapsed at the lycée. A frantic call ripped through my afternoon classes, and I raced towards the hospital, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs, a cold dread washing over me. By the time I arrived, breathless and terrified, pushing through sterile swinging doors, it was already too late. She was gone. "A massive heart attack," the doctor said gently, his voice muffled as if coming from underwater. It was quick, likely painless. Quick and painless for her, perhaps, but the pain that ripped through me was anything but quick or painless. It tore through my carefully reconstructed world like a Category 5 hurricane, leveling everything in its path, leaving nothing but a gaping, echoing emptiness in its wake. The funeral, held in the beautiful old stone church downtown, was just as Grandma would have wanted. Elegant, dignified, filled with people whose lives she had touched. Her former students packed the pews, sharing heartfelt stories of how Principal Dubois had changed their lives, inspired them, guided them. I sat alone in the front row, numb, my hand instinctively clutching the small key necklace she had given me, its cool metal a faint grounding point. I tried desperately to channel the strength she had always taught me, to be brave like she would expect. But inside, I was just that lost 8-year-old girl again, adrift in a world suddenly devoid of its anchor. That's when I saw them, Brenda and Robert, my parents. They walked into the quiet solemnity of the old stone church as if they belonged there, as if they hadn't completely vanished from my life, abandoning their 8-year-old daughter a whole decade ago without a backward glance. Brenda's once vibrant hair was streaked with more grey now, pulled back severely, and Robert had gained noticeable weight around his middle, his suit straining slightly. But I'd have known them anywhere. My heart lurched, hammered against my ribs, then seemed to stop altogether before resuming a frantic, panicked race. They slowly made their way down the aisle toward me, their faces carefully arranged into masks of what looked like deep concern. "Clara, sweetheart," Brenda murmured, reaching for my hand with perfectly manicured fingers. I flinched, pulling away instinctively, the unexpected touch feeling like a burn. "We came as soon as we heard," she continued, her voice hushed, attempting sympathy. "We're so sorry about your grandmother." Robert nodded solemnly beside her, his gaze shifting uncomfortably around the ornate church. "We know it's been a long time," he added, his voice lower, trying for sincerity. "But we're here now. You'll come home with us, of course. It's the only sensible thing. You're still technically a minor for a few more months, you know. And, well, we're your legal guardians." The air crackled. I couldn't believe the sheer audacity, The absolute nerve I was hearing. 10 years. 10 years of deafening silence, and now suddenly they wanted to swoop in and play happy family? The hypocrisy choked me. I'm not going anywhere with you, I managed, my voice trembling with a rising tide of anger. My home was with Grandma Genevieve. Now, Clara, Brenda started, her voice taking that sharp, stern edge I remembered. Don't be difficult. We're your parents. You have no choice. Actually, a deep, calm voice interrupted. She has every choice. We turned. A tall man in an expensive suit, carrying a leather briefcase, approached. I'm Alistair Finch, he stated, his expression unreadable. Genevieve Dubois' attorney. We need to discuss your grandmother's will. My parents' expression shifted instantly. Brenda's eyes lit up with barely concealed interest, while Robert nervously straightened his tie. Of course, Robert said smoothly. We're her only living relatives, after all. Mr. Finch remained impassive. Let's step into the private room. There are matters needing immediate clarification. As we followed, my hand moved to clutch the key necklace. Somehow, I knew everything was changing. The room felt suffocatingly small. Mr. Finch sat across from us, arranging papers. Before we begin, he said, adjusting his glasses, Miss Dubois, please show me your necklace. Confused, I revealed the key. He nodded. Perfect. Now, the terms of Genevieve Dubois' last will and testament. He cleared his throat. The legal jargon washed over me until one sentence struck like lightning. To my beloved granddaughter, Clara Dubois, I leave my entire estate, currently valued at approximately 47 million Canadian dollars. The room erupted. 47 million? Brenda shrieked, her face reddening. Impossible! Genevieve was a school principal. Robert slammed his hand on the table. Ridiculous. We're her children. She can't leave everything to a teenager. Mr. Finch remained calm. There's more. The will specifies Clara is legally emancipated immediately, with a trust established. The key opens a safety deposit box. My head spun. $47 million? Grandma Genevieve? This will is dated just last month. Brenda spat, her voice dangerously sharp. We'll contest it. Clara's still a minor, technically. We're her legal guardians. We have rights. Actually, Mr. Finch interrupted again, his tone unwavering as he produced another document. You surrendered those rights 10 years ago. He laid it on the polished table. This is a copy of the abandonment charges Genevieve successfully filed against you both after you left Clara. You never responded to the court summons, so she was granted full legal custody. You haven't been Clara's legal guardians for a very long time. I watched, numb, as their faces transformed. The thin veneer of fake concern dissolved completely, replaced by raw, naked greed and incandescent fury. Clara, sweetie. Brenda tried again, her voice dripping with a sickeningly sweet honey I hadn't heard in a decade. You don't understand what you're doing. This is too much for you. Let us help you manage this. We're family. Family. The word tasted like poison. Family, I echoed, the tremor in my voice now fueled by pure rage. Where was family when you dumped me here? Where was family for 10 long years while Grandma Genevieve raised me, loved me, was everything to me? We made a mistake, Robert mumbled quickly, avoiding my gaze. We were young, struggling. You're only here now because you smelled the money, I accused, the truth burning on my tongue. Did you even care that Grandma died? Did you ever care about me? Their suffocating silence was answer enough. Mr. Finch cleared his throat softly. "There's one more thing. Genevieve left a letter for you, Clara." He handed me a sealed, cream-colored envelope. "She asked that you read it alone." I took it, my fingers trembling, and walked out, leaving their sputtering protests behind me. Finding a quiet alcove off the main church hall, I sank onto a worn velvet bench, the thick envelope heavy in my trembling hands. I broke the seal. "My dearest Clara," the familiar, elegant script began. "If you're reading this, I'm gone, and you've just learned the truth about our family's wealth." I know, it's a shock. Tears blurred the words. I kept it secret for many reasons, but mostly to protect you, to let you grow up understanding the true value of hard work and kindness, not entitlement. She explained everything, how she'd built Dubois Global Enterprises from the ground up, how Brenda and Robert, her own son, had tried to illegally transfer all her assets into their names while she was away on business, thinking she was just a naive school principal. "I gave them a choice," she wrote, "stay and live modestly while learning integrity, or leave." They chose to leave. They left you thinking I'd eventually cave. They never understood that by abandoning you, they gave up the greatest treasure. Tears streamed freely now. Inside the envelope was also a small USB drive labeled "Watch Me First." Later, with Mr. Finch, I watched it. Grandma Genevieve, vibrant on screen, looked directly at me. Your parents showed up, didn't they? Trying to claim what was never theirs. She knew. She detailed their scheme again, her expression hardening, then softening. "That's why I know you're ready, Clara. The Montgomery Foundation provides scholarships for children like us. You'll be its new director. Use our wealth for good. That's our true legacy." In death, as in life, she was protecting me, guiding me. Understanding flooded through me. When I returned to the private room, my parents were still arguing heatedly with Mr. Finch about contesting the will. They fell silent as I walked in. "Clara," Brenda started, her tone wheedling, but I held up a hand, channeling a calm I didn't entirely feel yet. "I want you to leave," I said, my voice steady and clear. "Both of you, you're not welcome here." "Now, listen here," Robert began angrily, puffing up, but Mr. Finch interrupted smoothly. "Should I call security?" he asked calmly. "As the sole heir and property owner, Miss Dubois has every right to have you removed." They stared at me, these strangers who shared my blood, and I saw the exact moment they finally realized they'd lost. Not just the money, but any leverage, any chance of manipulating me ever again. "This isn't over," Brenda hissed as they gathered their things, but her threat felt hollow. I watched them leave, feeling an odd, unexpected sense of peace settle over me. The following weeks were a whirlwind. Mr. Finch introduced me to the board of directors at Dubois Global Enterprises, distinguished men and women who had known and deeply respected Grandma Genevieve. They welcomed me warmly, ready to guide me. My parents tried futile legal challenges, attempting to prove Grandma was mentally unstable, but her foresight was impeccable. Every document was ironclad. Their efforts failed spectacularly. I stepped into my grandmother's office, my office now, and approved the first round of scholarships from the Genevieve Dubois Foundation. 20 children would get a chance. Her old Volvo still sits in my garage, a quiet reminder that true wealth isn't just inherited, it's earned through purpose and kindness. Sitting here now, in Grandma Genevieve's office, surrounded by the quiet hum of the company she built and the promise of the foundation she started, I understand the profound legacy she left me. It's not just about the millions in the bank. It's about the enduring power of resilience, the unshakable truth that genuine love and kindness vastly outweigh the allure of mere material wealth. My journey is a testament that our choices, especially those made under duress, fundamentally define who we are and the impact we leave behind. The greatest inheritance isn't monetary. It's the positive influence and unwavering values we pass on. In today's often overwhelming world, this lesson feels more vital than ever. It urges us to actively cherish authentic connections, to prioritize integrity and compassion over greed, and to recognize that adversity, while painful, can forge incredible strength within us. We can all strive to be a source of inspiration and support for others, just like Grandma Genevieve was for me. So, how has my story resonated with you? What lessons do you draw from this journey? When faced with life's critical choices, will you prioritize wealth or humanity? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. If this story touched you, give it a like, share it, and follow or subscribe for more inspiring tales about overcoming challenges and discovering life's true meaning.